Entrepreneur and Managing Director of FaceTime Pictures. A man of strong faith and values, Mr. Oshobukola is dedicated to service, excellence, and nation building. His life's work continues to reflect a commitment to empowering people, creating opportunities, and driving sustainable impact. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in make welcome Mr. Bolaji Oshobukola. Once more, the podium, please. This is 5 minutes. Please come with speech. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. I think 5 minutes is short, so we just can just say something, right? You're welcome, and I want to say a protocol duly observed. This is a beautiful one, and we're actually talking about innovation that can help in reducing the housing deficit. So I want you to understand that one of the reasons we are gathered here is to see how we can help based on innovation, right? And when you look at what is happening, it's not like people are not building. Buildings are going on. We are building. People are building. Developers are building. But access and structure becomes the problem, right? People don't have access to this project we have done. There are no structure payment plan for those who cannot afford housing by paying. You know, when you go to the European countries, you see people have been given the opportunity to pay for houses through mortgage for like 30 years. So an average person can access house or can access a home, isn't it? But in Nigeria, I am building in Jaruye right now. If you come meet me and we talk about that project, I'm giving you 1 year and 6 months. How many persons can afford 140 million naira within a year and 6 months? It's difficult. So we are putting this innovative idea to ensure that housing are available so that people can easily access housing, but we cannot also talk about this innovative idea without financing, because we as developers, we also need the finance. If I don't have the financial capacity and I don't have the bank giving me the money with a minimum interest rate, even if I have the innovative ideas, I cannot also meet up the demand, isn't it? So now let's look at the modular fabricated houses like the first speaker said. You discover that the modular fabricated houses are houses you can get within the ranges of 15 million, 10 million, 1 bedroom flat, as the case may be. Now, one of the things that innovation has done in the housing is to reduce the cost, and not just reduce the cost, the time frame in delivering houses. So it also reduces the labor. So you find out that it has cut cost or labor within 30 to 50%. But tell me, how many people too can afford 15 million to get 1 bedroom flat within a year and 6 months? So the housing deficit will continue to be there, except we are putting this as a mandate for the government to ensure that people have access to fund, not just access to fund, mortgage, where people can be given a long time to pay. I go to the bank, they are giving me 30%, 40%, and they are telling me within 1 year I should clear the bill. And if I don't clear the bill, they are taking the project I'm doing. So if I go and take such money, I can't give you affordable housing. What is happening when we talk about the PPP going on today, what the TAF is doing around the Obirikwere houses is a beautiful innovation, whether you like it or not. That is what Lagos have used in developing Lagos. I can tell you for free that the amount TAF City is selling houses there can only be possible because there is a public-private partnership. I can't get a land at that location and sell you a duplex for 120 million. It's not possible. Let's face the reality. So what is happening there is innovation, and who made that possible? The government. That means government has provided the land for TAF City. TAF City is now building. But do you know, if TAF City has gotten a land, check the issues that would have happened with them getting that expanse of land. So it will take them a lot of time, isn't it? Yeah. And apart from taking them a lot of time, they need to also make money from their land. So the cost will affect the building. So if you see TAF City selling you property at 120 in that location and you're coming to meet Odibola, it's not possible, because he's enjoying the PPP that the government has brought to play in order to help the development of free estate in Rivers State. So that project is a beautiful project. Now, when we look at what is happening in Nigeria, and when we look at the innovative ideas we have put in place to ensure that people have these houses in mass, we should also know that the banks are to play a lot of roles, the government are to play a lot of roles, so that people can get this property and developer too can breathe. And when you also look at documentation process and the process of buying a land, I just bought a property and trying to clear the property, I have a lot of people calling to come in land grabber. I will fight them, I will spend money, and you can't expect me after building on that land, I should come and dash it out. So if government does not streamline documentation and title for this property, we'll keep having challenges. We'll keep gathering like this, talking about innovation. The innovation is there, but the finance will help the innovation to be attainable. So while we sit there to discuss about these innovative ideas, we should also pray that the government come into this real estate business to release funds, create room for people to access loan and people to access mortgage, so that people will have time frame and a structured payment that can take up to 10-20 years for them to be able to afford any property of their choice. Thank you very much. A lot of people have invested in properties. 30 years they can't own this property. I feel that if I'm doing this business, I should give them hope by standing in that gap. If I take their money, they should be able to secure their property. When they need it, they should have it. And that's one of the reasons I'm into this business. Integrity becomes the key for me.
Let's look at this summit addressing the housing deficit. How do we do this? Is the government committed to addressing this problem?
Well, like I said, the housing deficit is over 20 million housing deficit, and we cannot be talking of innovation on how to address the housing deficit if we don't also look at access, affordability, structure. As a common man who is working, you might be receiving 200,000 naira monthly, and you have 30-35 years to work. You should be able to afford the minimum of one bedroom flat for yourself, and you should have at least 10-15 years of payment plan, knowing that your salary can just be deducted for monthly payment. That is what is done in European countries. So if we're talking about affordability, we must also understand that the mortgage system needs to be functional. Where people have affordable loan, where the bank take over houses and give to people and give them the opportunity to spread their payment. Government needs to make funding for developers so easily accessible. Like I said, that you cannot also talk about affordability when the developer cannot access fund with a single digit, just like the speaker said, to enable us develop those affordable houses. Because if I use my money to develop, I should be able to structure the payment in a way it can be favorable to me to do the next development. So the government have a role to play. And you can also see the PPP stuff going on in the Greater Port Harcourt area, where the government has provided land. It has made it possible for a lot of people to access that land in an affordable way, because right now the amount sold at that area cannot be quantified with someone who has gone to get this land and is selling. So government providing land for developers and developers doing the project is also another way to help in affordable houses to cushion the effect of this deficit we are talking about. The developer should have an integrity where when you are tested, you are not faulted. So for Odibola Properties, we believe that we cannot be talking about securing large portion of land without problems. People have interests in properties, but the most important thing is that criminal takes advantage of those interests to make things in a way that you can call them for settlement, and when you are not dancing to their tune, they escalate it just because they want to get your attention. And we are not giving into blackmail, because we are doing development rightly and ensuring that our property have a root of title that cannot be faulted anywhere. Yeah, thank you very much.
Odibola Properties, building dreams, creating luxury.